Yo, welcome back, everyone. My name is Poppy Joe FS, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of Poppy Joe Trading Academy's advanced course content. So, basically, we'll be looking at the time and price concept for today, and I'll be explaining the concept and is the implication of the concept to our trading life. Now, I will be introducing the concept now. The explanation of this concept entails knowing when to enter a trade or when to look for certain moves in the market. Now, this concept helps us in determining when to enter the market, the time we need to be looking out for a setup or for entry as a trader. So basically, we will not be looking for entries within so time and within some period because of the understanding of this concept and the application of the same. So the next thing that we need to understand is that the price movement is subjective, and as such, it cannot be predicted with a clear accuracy. But then, from past experiences and statistical analysis, we have found out that most price movement happens within a certain time. Now, what we have actually found out is that within a certain time and a certain period, within a certain session, do you understand? We could have market movement or price moving mostly during some certain periods. So obviously, you want to trade in a kind of environment whereby there's movement in the market, whereby there's volatility in the market. So which is what we'll be studying for the purpose of this concept. We'll be studying the period that we are expected to be looking for entries in the market, the period that we're expected to be taking profit, and the period that we're expected to not even trade at all. So basically, the requirement that we need is that we'll be adding the session indicator to our chart, and also we'll be getting used to using the pivot separator on our chart as well. So let's just delve straight into the concepts. So now, the purpose of this course now, take note of these things. We'll be looking at the period whereby we'll be taking trade. Now, we'll be taking trade mainly in the London and New York session. That is point number one. Our trees will be falling in between the New York and London and New York session. So those are the periods that we'll be taking our entries. So our entry is between London and New York session. So we'll also be looking at the times whereby we can take profits, times whereby we can be expecting reversals in the market. So entry now, what we can be expecting our entry within the London and or New York session, and we can now be expecting reversals. So now I'll just basically point out the things that we should be looking out for reversals. That's within now reversal. Should be looking for reversals at London Open. That's London session open. We should be looking at kits for it doing session overlap. That is during the London and New York session overlap. Then finally, should be looking for reversal in the New York session as well. Now this one is very rare. Do you understand? So basically, we are looking for entries for any of our trade biases or any of our trade setup during the London and New York session. And then anytime we're trying to look for reversals or anything, we are timing our reversal to form in between the London session open, the New York session open as well too. Now, New York session open, that's quite popular. So it is the New York session close that we might have a rare occurrence of reversal. I hope you are following. So now let's just go straight to the chart. With this knowledge and with this idea that the London and New York session, so let's go straight to adding our indicator. Now I have my indicator here already. My indicator is on my chart already, so I'll just go straight to the chart. Now here on, so we'll be going straight to this is how the 1 hour chart of CHFD what it looks like. So I'll be using this indicator. We'll be using the session indicator mainly on the 15 minutes on the minutes time frame. So let's go to the 15 minutes time frame for instance now. Now on the 15 minutes time frame, we can see our indicator showing, meaning anytime we want to take any trade or any trade that we are having our any buyers that we have in the market. This is now, let's say the indicator. Now this is a style. So under the style, Asian should be set as white depending on the background color of your chart. So the London session, you can now tweak around with the color of the London session. So the visibility now is under setting that I should be taking note of. For me, I have set mine to be 1 minute to 15 minutes, meaning this indicator will only be visible on the 1 minute to 15 minutes chart alone. Meaning if I go to the 30 minutes chart, this indicator will not be showing there, which is cool for me because that's the way I wish to set it. Do you understand? Because I'll be using this for a intraday trading. So definitely I will also be using this on the 15 minutes time frame or lower. So that is how I set my indicator. Meaning anytime I want to take any trade now, it has to fall in between these boxes. Now the white space is a clear space for me because that's the Asian session. Definitely, I will not be looking for any entry within that period. But anytime it is falling within this period, the colored boxes, then I'll be looking for an entry. If I'm taking a sell, if I'm anticipating a sell for a day and it falls within this point, then of course I can know I can take my trade because it is within my time and the price is expected to deliver. Now, most times I will also get reversals. Remember, I mentioned right there that we get reversals during the New York and London sessions overlap. Now, look at this box right in between here now. That is when the this is where the New York session opens, and that is when there's an overlap. So, most times we get reversals during the overlap, and you can see right here we have a reversal in the overlap region here. Even right here too, we could see that there was a kind of liquidity purge around here too during the overlap session, during the overlap. So basically what we're just trying to do here is that we're trying to know the time that market moves mostly. And of course, you want to trade during that time and not outside of that box. And of course, if you do your check and you see that market gives more risk or more reward during those periods, so you would want to trade the market whenever it is within those zones. Look at this. This is a session overlap here, and what we saw was reversal. So this was under session overlap here, and we get reversal as well. So this is how we can actually use this concept and this idea to trade in the market. Remember, you also have it that in the market we tend to take our trades in the London session open. So the London session open, that is when this box starts to form. So in the London session open also, you could also get a trade entry during those period based on your particular on your trade setup at that moment. So the London session open, the New York session open, and now the New York session opens actually forms within the overlap, making it a more confluence for you to look out for it during those periods. So that is how we use the concept of time and price. Now, the ways we can also use this to take our profits. If, for instance, I'm holding a trade from around here before, from the previous day, and the market gets to this peak and has formed this peak formation high during the session overlap, I might want to consider closing that trade because I know that during this overlap, there is mostly reversal. So it also helped me in my profit target and also in my target estimation. Because when you know that when market gets to a certain time, you don't expect it to move much. Of course, during this period, we are expecting market to reaccumulate or redistribute. So definitely we don't want to lose the profit we've made from the previous move. So we should know what we should start packing our market and we'll start packing and leaving the market at that time. So that is basically how we apply the concept of time and price to trading. I hope you understand. I hope you enjoy it and give me some comments in the comment section. And also, if you want some improvement on my content, thank you.